Start down in the red zone. We got a 2-by-2. I just respect the play style here. So Buddha comes over late to cover up the slot. So we're gonna bring the slot receiver, and they're really bringing the house. I mean, you're going zero down here. They got everybody covered. And then again, I think this is Chris Barnes, 51, making plays, back old green and gold. Miss him. I thought he was a great player for us. But you see he peels off late, gets to the quarterback. And if you're bringing pressure, and of course, condensed in the red zone, this is just something to think about. But when you're condensed in the red zone in particular, like when you're trying to convert these, field goal attempts into touchdowns, the condensed space, you can play a little bit more man. You can bring a little bit more pressure because the spots aren't as, I mean, there's nowhere to run. You can only run about 20, 25 yards. So the route combinations are different. The options are the play sheet is smaller. And so I think they do a pretty good job down here of trying to, hold these guys to field goals. So we go for a long, you see that 5-man look. Now they got the first round pick from I think 2021 out there, number 25. You see Kittle and Trent Williams are going to crash down on this. We'll call this a 4-eye. They're going to down block. I think they know I think they've kind of read their mail. Talk about the Niners reading the Cardinals' mail a little bit as they're going to step 2. They down block. They do a good job securing, but the pulling guard doesn't do a good job securing the outside linebacker. You got to win on the edge versus this team. If you can move those defensive ends and outside linebackers, you're going to have plays. If not, they can make plays in the backfield. You see here, they're going to these guys always are running off of Trent and George Kittle, as you would expect. Look at, I put violent intent here. And of course, 71s, you're used to seeing that. And I don't want to turn this into San Francisco 49ers tape, but watch what George Kittle does here when you start thinking about where's Tucker Kraft headed. What do you want to see out of Tucker Kraft? What do you want to see out of the entire tight end room? Like, I think this guy is the gold standard. And you see the violent intent that Kittle has right here, knocking that guy just flat on his backside. And sometimes, when you're supposed to rise up and get to that second guy, like sometimes it's more important to just bury that first level defender because that secondary guy, particularly when you're talking about wide receiver blocking a corner, moving up to the corner, like it's much more important to bury that first guy at the line of scrimmage. And if that corner 10 yards downfield tries to get on the play, that's fine. They do a good job of pinning the linebackers here. Like I think when you get to the second level, excuse me, I think if you can get past that defensive end to the second level, you're just in good shape. The linebackers can make plays. The backside guy ends up making a lot of plays in this tape because the front side guy gets blocked, but that's more of a consequence of those defensive ends getting moved. I absolutely love this play. This is a play the Green Bay Packers. If they're not running the exact thing, they should put it in soon. So they've got Juszczyk, and you can put 2 tight ends in here. They put them in motion, and they are essentially running out of pistol. They're going to bring the running back straight downhill, but out of pistol here, usually you're looking like an inside zone, like a middle zone run to the offense's right or left as we watch. And so they're going to run like a zone scheme, and they're going to pull the backside fullback and the backside tight end to kick out and then wrap around on this backside B. So the Niners, their line coach, they do something a little bit different than some other teams. They run all of their backsides, like all of their doubles on the backside look like, or play side or backside, and start looking the same. So they all make them look like backside B because they want to get that defensive tackle to run, and then it makes it easier to push them over the top if it's in fact the play side, and then get up to that second level. So everything's a little bit easier with Trent Williams, obviously, but they bring around Juszczyk, and then they bring around Kittle. He secures that secondary block. They pop out, and they're on to the safety. Now this is I put this as a creative coverage. They're really just going to man here, and they've got multiple safeties in the game. They got 4 guys standing up on the line of scrimmage. So they have 5 at the line of scrimmage, but 4 of them are standing up. Now they put their man in motion. Slot defender trails over, but they're actually in man in the backfield of the red cone and the running back. So as he exits to the other side, they got to stay in man, and they're actually dropping back the near side safety and what was the strength safety back into the robber position and manning up everywhere else. But at the snap, this is kind of a bastard looking thing. And what we were talking about before, regardless if you're in shotgun, under center, they have all these guys standing up, but there's not a hell of a lot of pass rush. And this is a very clean pocket. And that gives you the opportunity to run this 15-yard route down at the bottom of the screen and create 3 yards of separation. Because even really good corners in the National Football League aren't gloving you up past 15 yards. Like at some point, you got to turn your hips and run. Again, 5-man line. Second level blocking here is critical. You got 2 down blocks. You got Kittle going all the way to 7. And then the outside receiver is going to come down as they kick out the defensive end. He's going to hit 42, the safety. And you just see, we talked about this last week when they had the big play. Kyren Williams had the big play in the Rams because Stokes was following our guy in on the crack. That is a real issue for all defenses, really, that are playing any kind of man match coverage on the outside. That corner's eyes, it's so difficult to get off of the receiver because if I give up the shallow cross or the deep cross for 30 yards, I just got beat. So secondarily, I'm thinking about the run game. Eyes are late here on the corner. They go outside and they get a big play out of it. And when you're running against teams that are playing a lot of single safety, this is the kind of stuff you want to run, especially with the utilization of your wide receivers in the blocking scheme in the box, because there's a good chance that those corners are going to follow you in. That's when you start constructing plays. You think about, should I motion, should I not motion? And I think we'll show another play here very, very shortly. If you don't motion, that corner is going to be closer to the line of scrimmage. He's more apt to follow you from a closer distance. So the time that he has to react to that running back is much shorter, right? And if you flip that and you go in motion, and we'll show it in a second, he has more time, right? But that can also help us as well as if we're pulling a blocker around or something like that, or we're trying to run outside. Again, we talked about the lack of pass rush here, so I just show you the route combinations out of an under center play action look. And really, I highlighted this play because the right tackle, if you're playing against a stud, like if that's a TJ Watt or, Von Miller or somebody like that, and you're having to run out and try to show run, and the guy's 3-4 yards wide, you should absolutely be just crapping your pants. Like this is like the worst thing they ask you to do all week. There's so many ways that you can get beat. Short corner, inside move, bat your hands down. Like there's so many bad things that can happen here. But obviously the 49ers are, they're averaging 6 yards a carry in this game. That's one. And two, the Cardinals really just don't have a bona fide pass rusher. And this guy gets absolutely gloved up in an under center play action pass. And Purdy's got all day to throw to space. And again, if you're going man coverage with single safety, it is almost impossible against an NFL, talented wide receiver to keep up with him across the entire field when you're running crossers, man. It's just a tough ask. So now we show it. Okay, so we go in motion, and this is the old ghost motion that we used to run 94 Ghost. But you see the corner here backs up, and now he's soft. So take a look at the angles now. We have a 6 technique on the tight end. You have a down block by the tackle. You've got the guard in the center. This is as easy as it comes, right? As far as angles blocking, you can't ask for a better situation. Your guard can help secure the edge. It's a 6 technique. And your center is kicking out on a guy who just went back and softened because of the motion. Like the hardest block is obviously by that guard. If that guard can take that nose tackle, this is out the gate. And so that's something when the Packers are watching these teams, I kind of start thinking a couple things. Let's get our tight ends in the game. Let's commit them to single safety high. Maybe for no other reason than we want to know where Buda Baker is. If there's one guy on that field who you got to know where he is all the time, let's know where Buda is. I don't feel like they have a very good pass rush. Um, they are ranked in the bottom 6 or 7 in rushing yards per game. So they're going to be very aware of the fact that the Panthers are ranked either first or second in yards per game, and all the different ways we get our different guys, our various talented players to football. And so those safeties are probably going to be, or excuse me, linebackers are probably prone to walking up. They don't have a guy that we have to necessarily worry about from a pass rush standpoint. If we go under center play action pass, we can sell it. If we go shotgun play action, if we go pistol play action, all of these things that allow our receivers more time to run these deeper routes and separate from these corners that are going to play a lot of man match safety, especially against single safety high. Um, it it just feels when you watch this tape that the Arizona Cardinals are playing a defense they don't necessarily have the personnel for. You see it here again. There's just all kinds of time, and it's a perfect pocket. And I mean, Purdy's a really good player and he throws on time, but like a lot of this stuff, you're kind of looking and going like, man, oh man, look at the secondary blocking, by the way.